Outstanding skating in that first period. I think the hitting's going to pick up just a little bit, don't you, Lou? Just a
maybe
little
with some elbows
bit.
or something.
Yeah, I think
you're tougher than those players are.
They've been watching George Palava too much, I think.
Actually, we had an outstanding period of hockey, a real fast period. Each club having 10 shots on net. And I'll have to say that as far as the quickness goes, that's about as good as we've seen in the tournament thus far.
I wonder if those gentlemen are expecting more overtime tonight. It might be the way the two teams played in that first period. 1-1. Hibbing and Hill Murray. Any adjustments that either team might make going into the second period?
Well, if I was Hill Murray, I'd say that I'd like to see their team use their body more. They're more effective when they're taking people out, and being playing against some smaller players, if you keep hitting them, by the time you get to the third period, you can wear them down somewhat. Hibbing's speed up front has been some problem for Hill Murray defense thus far, so you could expect them to do the same thing. Maybe try to get on the defenseman quicker to have them cough that puck up.
First period had a good pace to it. Let's see what happens in the second. As we're underway, Trey Toomey along with Tom Quinlan and Steve Rollick start for the Pioneers. And it's John Rue, Paul Girardi, and Andy O'Brien, who had the goal for Hibbing. O'Brien did. Are up front for the Blue Jackets as icing is the call early in the second period against Hibbing.
Hibbing's got to feel real good about the way they played that period. They came out with a great deal of speed and enthusiasm right off the start. They had some chances. They know that they can skate with Hill Murray. They know that they've got the kind of offense up front. If they get some chances, they can score goals. At the same time, they were able to contain Hill Murray, with the exception of that power play goal that Hill Murray scored.
From the face-off, the Blue Jackets get it, and it's John Rue clearing it down into Hill Murray territory. Sean Fabian around the boards to Tony Schmaltzbauer. On the far side, it goes to Rollick. And now up into the center ice area. Trey Toomey has it. He had a hat trick last year in the tournament. Works his way to center ice. Can't get through, and now it's cleared in. And the Blue Jackets have it in their own zone. They try and work it out, but the pass intercepted by Toomey. He clears it right back. Gostad around the boards. John Schwartz on the other side takes over. One of the returning players for Hibbing. They had 12 graduate last year, so the Blue Jackets have done a good job in returning to the state finals. This is Hoosman coming behind the net, trying to center it out in front. He was checked, and it's Tony Schmaltzbauer to his defensive partner, Tom Schock. And Schock clears it down the ice. 13:40 left in the second period, a 1-1 tie. As Hoosman takes a hit in his own zone, they pile up against the boards and hold it for a faceoff.
Well, you might see a little more of that, but whenever you see Hibbing involved in it, you're hoping that Steve Terrell's involved, because he's 6'3", 205, a big centerman. We look at the goals allowed per game. Hill Murray leading this tournament, but Hibbing having a very fine season, just 226. And you can tell why. They've got a very mobile defense. They've got a defense with some size and speed, and they've had two solid goaltenders here.
Johnson against Terrell on the face-off, and it comes to Zabachnik. At Zabachnik, a senior forward, along with Terrell. There's the backhand right on goal. Steve Terrell with the shot on goal. Bill Olson was telling me that Terrell is the leader of the team, and sometimes during the course of a year, and it's understandable with this many kids, some kids fall out of line a bit, but it's Terrell who gets them back in line. He's kind of like the coach's assistant in that, and he's got the size to back it up.
You mean the coach's muscle?
Yes. There's a shot from the faceoff right on goal. Be a handy guy to have around.
We just got a score, by the way. Denver's beating UMD 5-2.
There's a shot blocked at the point, and it slides all the way out to center ice, and Mike Hardy went back to get it. It's still loose, and now Steve Stavnes gets it out to center. Tom Schock over to Craig Quinlan. Quinlan fires it back towards the Hibbing blue line. Puck gets loose, and the Blue Jackets better be careful. Here's Nick Garrity with the puck. Garrity is checked. It comes back to Schock. He fires it in the corner. Mark Johnson trying to come out from the side. Johnson spins, was checked. Now it's Valento centering it out in front. And the Blue Jackets are able to clear it away for a moment, but Mark Johnson's on it again. Now he's checked. And finally, Hibbing gets it out to center. In fact, this could be icing. Horvath plays the puck, clears it up ahead. And it's Garraby turning in his own zone. Garraby hooked from behind will have a penalty coming up against Hibbing. And now Garraby is slammed into the boards, and we may have 2 penalties against the Blue Jackets. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Here comes Garraby with the puck. Pete Waller's going to hook him 3 times here. 1, and he doesn't get satisfied. 2, and as he's going at him, the referee, as soon as he saw that stick come up around the face, he called that an hooking penalty. Afterwards, he followed up with a little bit of a nice check on him also, but just 1 penalty. Waller's in the penalty box right now, and Hill Murray in the power play.
Garraby was really punished with that check, and it looked like the official was going to call 2. Just the 1-man advantage, though, for the next 2 minutes as Hill Murray moves out. They've already got a power play goal in the game, trying to break a 1-1 tie. Tom Quinlan behind the goal. He's checked by Joe Gostad. Gostad fighting for it. Now it comes in front, and the Blue Jackets clear it down the ice.
You'll know there's the difference here. Hibbing, when they get Hill Murray coming up with the puck, they're just pulling back and picking up a wing. They're allowing him to come in a lot easier than Hill Murray was allowing them to come in on the power play.
Here's Quinlan with that great move in, shooting, and a good stop there by Jacklin. And Quinlan has that patented move off the right wing.
And John Rue came back to knock him down as he just looked like he might have been able to reach that free puck and put it behind Jacklin.
Here's Mark Johnson in over the line. He's dumped by Gostad. Following up is Sean Fabian. Now it's Johnson losing possession, and it's cleared down the ice by Joe Gostad. Gostad's brother, Sean, was on the Hibbing team last year, a graduate. Now it's Steve Rollick to the line. Rollick puts on the brakes at the left point. Tries to flip it in. That's intercepted and backhanded high down the ice.
Hill Murray now having some difficulty getting the play working in the offensive zone. They've had the occasion to get the puck in there, but right after they've made an initial attempt at the net or a pass, they had the puck thrown back down the ice.
Paul Girardi does a good job of forechecking, and he has the puck and shoots it in. Girardi and John Rue seem to be bottling up the Pioneers. Just 15 seconds left in the power play advantage. Only 1 good chance. That came off the stick of Quinlan. There's a long shot. Jacklin steers it to the corner. Both teams have tested the goalies from well out on occasion tonight, and that might be because they haven't had many good shots on goal from in close. And now Wallers comes back on the ice, so the 2 teams are back at full strength. Hill Murray not that effective on that power play. 9 minutes, 52 seconds left in the second period. It's still a 1-1 tie. Barichka has Blummer open on the right wing. Here's Blummer in, shooting, hit the post. That hit the outside of the goal post, but there was some room there for Blummer. And a good low shot from the junior. Now the Blue Jackets get possession and just flip it to center. Tom Schock across to Craig Quinlan. Craig's pass was intercepted, and Hibbing fires it in. Zabachnik along with Terrell and Schwartz, but out comes Hill Murray. This is Barichka with Blummer on his right wing. Blummer is in, shooting, and he shot that wide. He was looking for the short side again. Now back come the Blue Jackets. His play is opening up, but we've got an injured player behind the play. John Schwartz is down with the score. Hibbing 1, Hill Murray 1. This is Hockey 86, live from the St. Paul Civic Center.
You can take off, you can take it all in. You can be the best. You can see it. Blue skies fading tonight. Head for home where love is shining bright.
Cavalier, America's best-selling car line. The #1 choice for people who know where they're going. Drive today Chevy. Live today Chevy. Cavalier.
Well, we're looking at John Schwartz down on the ice. He took a real heavy check from Todd Valento, and he's being attended to right now. He might have just lost his wind because at first it looked like he could have gotten a knee. He was rolling around, but you'll see right in front of the bench, the Hill Murray bench, here he gets hit. A heavy check by Valento right on John Schwartz. I thought he might have had a Charlie horse at first, but now it looks like they were tending to him up higher. He might have just lost his wind. But he's getting up. He's got 2 goals yesterday, as we see. Very fine hockey player, and I'm certainly that Hibbing is real excited to have that man back. Earlier we see Quinlan on that power play getting the opportunity, pull the puck through the defenseman, and as he's coming in on the net, you see the good move he's got. He likes to pull it through, and he'll pull it right across, but the back check right there was really an important part, and that was by John Schwartz, of allowing him no time to put that puck in the net.
This is John Schwartz's third tournament. There's a shot just missing the net. Schwartz's third tournament, and he is a very valuable member of the Hibbing Blue Jackets, and we certainly hope he'll be back. Here's Doug Terrell intercepting a pass, leaves it on the line. There's a shot, and Horvath deflects that up over the glass and out of play.
That was really a classic drop pass. Usually when you drop the pass, you always like to put what we call just a small tail on it, so it's just lying there, someone can skate on it. But that had to be perfect, because had it gone another 2 inches more, that puck would have been outside the blue line and offside. But a nice drop pass by Terrell, a fine shot. Horvath knocked it over the glass.
Here's a shot by O'Brien off the face-off, but it hits somebody in front. John Rue knocks it into the corner, and Sean Fabian will take over for Hill Murray. Up ahead to Tom Quinlan. Left wing pass for Rollick. Rollick into Toomey. Toomey had a partial break, but thought Quinlan was with him and passed off and lost possession. Might have been a good chance for Toomey to put a burst of speed on. He is fast. So's Quinlan, and Quinlan has the puck to Toomey. Toomey hauled down, got the shot away, but a weak one. Here's Quinlan the drive, and that's deflected wide of the goal. Good pressure here by the big line of the Pioneers. Rollick goes down in behind the net, gets up, has possession, feeds the point. Schmaltzbauer's shot is blocked. Good defensive play by Andy O'Brien, who also has the goal for Hibbing in this game. Now puck cleared to the line, kept in by Fabian, moves in, shooting just wide. Fabian's got a good shot from the point, but now puck comes out to center, and here is a break, but the defensive Hill Murray was able to recover, and now Quinlan has one the other way. Quinlan in shooting. There's the save. Rebound. Toomey trying to stay with it. Can't get a shot on goal. Toomey still has it and still is holding on. We've got a penalty coming up to Hibbing. Goaltender Horvath's out of the goal, but the Blue Jackets touch the puck, and we'll get a penalty against the Hibbing Blue Jackets. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Get back, and move.
Well, as the puck was taken down the ice by Andy O'Brien, all of a sudden a check was thrown on him, and the puck came back down the ice. Hibbing got caught in a line change. He had too many men on the ice. Hill Murray continued to put pressure on. There was a delayed penalty for 15 seconds or so, but Hill Murray wasn't giving up possession of the puck. Consequently, they had 2 or 3 chances. When they finally did turn it over, then the penalty was called, and Hill Murray, which has been putting on tremendous pressure on Rich Jacklin right now on the power play with his game tied at 1-1, 7:11 to go.
Tom Pascuzzi will serve the penalty. And Hill Murray's 3 for 7 in the tournament. So let's see what they do on this power play. Now Horvath was tied up with the Hibbing Blue Jacket behind the net, Steve Terrell, and they're both going to get the game.
Well, Horvath and Terrell.
19 blue. Number 1 white force minus for roughing.
Now that's what you call a good penalty, Chris. The reason why it's a good penalty, you'd rather have a 4-on-3 than a 5-on-4. So you're going to have that. In professional hockey, they have coincidental minors, so it'd stay 5-on-4. Also, we see the 2 roughing behind the net there, Terrell and Horvath. Also, Hill Murray is getting Steve Terrell off, who is a key man killing penalty. So right now, Hill Murray gets more than the 5% advantage. They're getting a distinct advantage having the top penalty killer off the ice as well.
Todd Valento will serve Rick Horvath's penalty. Of course, Terrell will serve his own. And it's 4 skaters against 3. And there's a lot of open ice. Girardi, the lone forward for the Hibbing Blue Jackets to kill the penalty. And it'll be like this for 1:40 unless the Pioneers score. Here's Sean Fabian. Fabian moves in looking for Mark Johnson. Mark Johnson, number 10, in the corner. Feeds back to Fabian. Fabian winding up. That shot was blocked and goes to the corner. Johnson again. Quinlan's out in front. Johnson hangs on. Fabian now across to Rollick. Frolic moves in. Fabian, high slot, shooting, and a big stop by Rich Jacklin. It's Fabian again. There's the shot, scores!
Nothing Rich Jacklin could do on that. He had 3 people standing in front of him. 2 of his players, one of Hill Murray, and Sean Fabian waited. He looked for an opening. You'll see him get the puck right out here, 30 feet away. He walks in, he takes a look right there, just right through traffic. There's no way Jacklin could have seen that. He hits the far corner. Hill Murray going ahead 2-1 on their second power play goal of the evening. A fine play by Sean Fabian, taking his time looking and letting go and hitting the far side.
It looked like the Blue Jackets had too many guys standing right in front of the goal crease. There's 3 in a row.
If you're going to stand in front at that time, and you're a head man, you might as well fall and block the shot because the goaltender has no chance to see it.
6'1", 190-pound junior defenseman Sean Fabian with the power play goal at 8:43, and that's the 4th power play goal for Hill Murray in the tournament, 2nd of the game. And it's 2-1 for the Pioneers. Blue Jackets, though, have the puck. Joe Gostad looking to center it. Puck goes in behind the net. And now the Pioneers come up with it. Big Tom Quinlan skating out to center. It's 4-on-4. Quinlan bursting in. He's knocked down. And the puck slides outside the line. Back to get it, Tony Schmaltzbauer. Lead pass is intercepted, and Joe Gostad has it. Gostad in ahead to O'Brien for John Rue. Rue lost his balance. Tom Quinlan is able to get it out to center. Now Gostad coming back in. He lost his balance as he was hit by Quinlan. And here comes Fabian. Looked for Quinlan, but Quinlan is on the late stages of a shift and didn't have any gas left. Now a long pass up ice. Pete Wallers is out with Doug Terrell. They move it into the zone for Hibbing. It's 2-1 for the Pioneers. They've scored the last 2 after the Blue Jackets opened the scoring in the first period. Doug Terrell takes a hit, broke his stick on the play. Wallers will feed the point. Here comes the shot. That's weak and wide. And now both teams back at full strength as the players come out of the penalty box. Tom Schock has it at center. He takes a hit, just gets rid of it, and here comes Hibbing. Inside the line, Terrell shooting. That hit a skate. There's a shot. They score! Brother Doug on the other side has tied it for the Blue Jackets.
Well, Doug Terrell getting the rebound, as last night we saw Steve Terrell come across with that same move, only shot it towards the net, and Schwartz deflected it. And this time, a deflection off the Hill Murray defenseman skate goes right over to Doug Terrell on the far side, just coming on a line change. You'll see him on the top of your screen, number 17, getting a wide open net as that puck deflected off Schock's skate. There's nothing the defenseman could do. He blocked it. You'll see him right here. He's going to block that shot right there over to Doug Terrell. All alone, he hits the upper corner. Last night, we saw Steve Terrell come down the ice. He made the same move. He sort of spins, looks towards the net. He fired at the net last night. Schwartz deflected it in. Tonight, it's brother Doug putting that one on the, up on the high side and tying this game at 2.
That's the younger Terrell brother, Doug, a sophomore, but yet his second tournament. He played as a freshman last year. Steve Terrell gets an assist along with Mike Hardy at 10-20, so it's a 2-2 tie. The Blue Jackets in Hill Murray living up, this game living up to expectations, that's for sure.
That's true, Chris. Great pace, good speed, good chances, a lot of excitement here tonight.
It has the air of a championship game, but this is only the semifinal. The winner has to take on Burnsville tomorrow night. 4 minutes remaining in this second period, and it's been a good one as it's cleared in by Blummer. Offside is the call. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Each of these clubs getting opportunities to score goals, but we only have each of them having 2. The game's tied 2-2, 3:56 to go in the second period.
Hibbing has possession in their own zone. A pass slides into the center ice zone. And this is Andy O'Brien, checked from behind by Trey Toomey. Schmaltzbauer out to center, and Joe Gostad's there. He'll work it back in. Good rushing defenseman, centers it in front. It's loose and knocked wide of the goal. Toomey trying to clear the zone, but the Blue Jackets are applying pressure. Here they come. It's out in front. There's a shot wide of the mark. So this line of Girardi, Roux, and O'Brien is causing some trouble in the Pioneer zone. Now Tom Quinlan races after it. And look at Jacklin out of his goal, and he clears it to center. Here comes Doug Terrell over the line. He couldn't get the puck, and now Quinlan turns. Big number 17 for Hill Murray. Nice move there over the line. Check from behind, and we've got another penalty coming up against Hibbing. And so that big Hill Murray power play will go back into effect. There's a break in the action. We'll be right back with the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Pizza to fall in love with.
Well, goal scorer Doug Terrell, who just tied this game up minutes ago, now serving a high-sticking penalty for high-sticking Tom Quinlan, as Quinlan was breaking in on a 1-on-3, but his big size was propelling him towards the net, and Terrell took him down with a high stick.
Here's Sean Fabian, the goal scorer in the last power play. This time his shot is blocked by Steve Terrell. You know, Hill Murray has operated at over 50% efficiency on the power play this year. That's quite a mark. But then again, Hibbing, until tonight, had killed off 88.6% of their shorthanded situations, which is also a very good mark. And here's a stolen puck, working his way in. There's a shot. Horvath making the save off Pete Wallers, who had 2 goals last night against Bemidji, and almost had one there shorthanded. Back into the zone comes Toomey. Backhand, and he whistled that one through the crease. That was close. Mark Johnson to Quinlan. Quinlan out in front. Back to the point. Rollick to Fabian. Back to Rollick. He's challenged. Clears it in. Loose puck. And it's picked up by Wallers. And here is a one-on-one situation. Wallers against Fabian, but Mark Johnson came back to make the check. Good play by Johnson. Now it's Trey Toomey at the line with Quinlan. Toomey shooting, and there's a tough save by Jacklin, who was handcuffed but held on.
Well, Trey Toomey hadn't seen that he just had help coming down. He would have had a 3-on-2. Besides that, he was tired, as is Quinlan. You can see him bent over going off. They were on for quite some time, and they had a 3-on-2, and here's a shot from way out by Trey Toomey. Jacklin getting a piece of it, but as it goes towards the goal crease, Jacklin was just able to pull it back.
Did you see that with the defenseman's stick? No wonder he had trouble. His stick was broken, so a heads-up play by the defenseman who gave his stick away, and Jacklin with a good stop. You know, Trey Toomey, he certainly knows how to find the net. He is the highest scoring player coming into the tournament, had 59 points in regular season action.
One of the reasons why, when you saw him earlier in that power play coming down the ice, he's got a great change of speed. He came up to the defenseman 1-on-2, and all of a sudden he accelerated. He went around the outside, then he backhanded that puck across the front. He missed the net, but that allowed him to get the opportunity, that change of speed, by breaking around the defense. It's real tough to defense a man that's a smooth skater and can shift gears so much. Neil Broughton's exceptional at that, and that's one of the reasons why. Mark Messier, another one that you're so familiar with, Chris, doing their games up there in Edmonton.
Great burst of speed. Defenseman thinks he's got the player, and boom, he turns on the afterburners, and it's a breakaway like Toomey just had. And here he is again. 38 seconds left in the man advantage for the Pioneers of Hill Murray. There's an open man, Johnson, and he one-timed it wide of the goal, but that was the setup play, and they had Johnson alone. Now Johnson has the puck again. It comes in the slot. Quinlan firing it, and it went off the goal post. Jacklin made the stop, and the puck rolled to the post. Close call, and they'll hold it for a face-off.
Well, Quinlan was in the crease, and I believe they're going to take the face-off outside. That's what happened.
16 seconds left in the man advantage.
Look at Quinlan, number 17. He takes a shot right from the doorstep. The save was made. It hit the pipe, and Jacklin just cleared that puck. But Quinlan's real big, tough to handle in front of that net, and that's what's given Jacklin so much problems. He's tying up their defenseman, and Hill Murray's got 2 people to work that puck around.
Sean Fabian up ahead for Mark Johnson in the late stages of this man advantage, and now it's cleared away. And under a minute to play in the second period, and the Hibbing Blue Jackets return to full strength. So they kill off that penalty after the Hill Murray Pioneers clicked on 2 power play goals earlier. A lead pass for Johnson. He's hauled down by Terrell. No call that time, and some of the Pioneer fans were expecting one. Now, here come the Blue Jackets out to center, over the line. There's a shot in on Horvath. The rebound is just cleared away, and now the net is off its moorings, and play is whistled down.
Well, you saw Kel Huseman going right for the net. He saw the shot coming, and he wanted to be there in case there was a rebound. Rick Horvath a little upset, thinking that he should have been interfered with, but here's the shot from way out. Number 2, Huseman, he's breaking for the net right here, going for that rebound. He plows right into the goaltender, moves the net off its moorings, and Horvath thought that he did it intentionally and the faceoff should come outside, but it really was taken in there by Huseman by one of the Hill Murray defensemen, so the faceoff's to Horvath's right.
Looked like it was Craig Quinlan who helped Huseman into the goal crease from the point, or from the faceoff. It was Wallers with the shot over the goal. And again, in the late stages of a period, it is the Hibbing Blue Jackets getting scoring chances. Just 20 seconds remaining as the puck is cleared down the ice. Todd Valento giving chase. Valento taken to the boards. After it's Barichka. Barichka checked by Wallers. Moving in is Blummer. There's Valento. He tried to pass it for Barichka, but they're going to go to the locker room tied once again. It was 1-1 after 1, and it's 2-2 after 2, and it's been a good one between the Hill Murray Pioneers and the Hibbing Blue Jackets.
Well, the pace and intensity of the first period carries over into the second. Another outstanding period for both clubs, each of them having super opportunities. Hill Murray probably a few more since they were on that power play, but Rich Jacklin in the net for Hill Murray, for Hibbing, really stymied Hill Murray time and time again there.
I wonder what the Burnsville Braves are thinking right now. 2 teams are playing very well on the ice, and it's going to be a good third period. Now let's go down to Sports Control.
Thank you, Chris and Lou. This game certainly does have all the earmarkings of a dead even game. These 2 teams are even. They scrimmaged earlier this year. That was up north in Hibbing, and they scrimmaged for 2 hours. It came out 1 goal was scored, and that was by a defenseman, Tom Schock of Hill Murray, so they are dead even.
Ralph, if there's a more exciting sporting event going on in this country tonight, high school, college, or pro, I'd like to know what it is. You just can't beat this kind of entertainment. Both teams going full out after 2 periods. Let's now toss it over to Tony Parker with a very special guest. Tony?
Here's a guy from Hibbing High School. You can guess who he's for and who he is. This is, of course, the Honorable Rudy Perpich, our governor. And Rudy, I'm sure you're here rooting. I've heard you, as a matter of fact, screaming and hollering for Hibbing.
Yep.
Let me ask you about your constituency in the Hill Murray area.
Well, I think they understand. I'm a graduate of Hibbing, and, you know, we really need an uplift up there. And this a state championship would give them a shot in the arm and make the town feel better. We've experienced some real difficult times for the last 5 years.
This game tonight is really not as rough as the Bemidji Hibbing game was, although it's rough enough, and people are calling it Iron Range style hockey.
Of course, the Bemidji started off, you know, rough and tough, and of course, it went through the whole game then. I think the Hill Murray team is, it's a championship team. We're going to have a tough time.
Okay, you know, you're involved in sports even if you're a governor these days, especially. You're talking about the NBA on Channel 4 News the other night.
Yeah.
We've got horse racing. You're talking lottery.
Yeah.
You've got to be a real sports nut or a fan to be a governor.
I've always been a sports fan, and the problem is being governor, I haven't had time to go to all the ball games. When I had time, I always, you know, even during the regular season, I've liked hockey and basketball.
Well, you've certainly been a good sport about this, and believe me, no connotation you being in a penalty box.
Okay.
Okay, Governor Rudy Perpich. Now back to Sports Control.
All right, thank you, Tony, and Governor Perpich. And I'm sure if Hibbing does win the state championship, Governor Perpich would be the one to hand him that state title. Wouldn't that be great?
It's 2-2 after 2, and this is live continuing coverage of the 1986 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Now you can get a home equity loan faster than you can find a contractor.
3 weeks.
Arizona?
Or get a college loan faster than you can decide on a college.
Wisconsin? No. No way.
Or a vacation loan faster than you can get where you're going.
Are we there?
That's right. TCF will give you an answer on most loans within 4 to 48 hours. Guaranteed. TCF, where Minnesota banks.
So, what'd you take last night?
You'll see.
Oh, a special on the Arctic Circle, huh? Great snow.
Hey, what's wrong with this VCR?
Well, maybe the heads are dirty. Here, try this head cleaner I bought.
Oh, scotch, huh?
Mhm.
Looks like a tape.
Well, you use it like a tape.
I do?
Mm-hmm.
Is it done yet?
Just settle down. It'll tell us.
Hey, that's easy.
So, do you want to watch the movie now?
Now let's see if it'll clean the refrigerator.
These electronic typewriters all do pretty much the same thing, right? Wrong. This one is the Panasonic 700M from CDP. It has modular components, so you can add more features as you need them. When the others run out of features, the only thing you can add is another typewriter to the land that time forgot. There is no competition. The Panasonic 700M. It's the only typewriter you'll ever need.
CDP supports Minnesota high school hockey. You know, Lou, thanks, guys. You know, Lou almost drafted me #1, but of course the guy...
Well, earlier when we were talking with Don Shelby about learning the game of hockey, he said, how do they know when you know, like the referees, when there are too many men on the ice? That happened to Hibbing, and it cost them a goal because in the power play, maybe we can ask Louis about that in a bit. But here it was with about midway through the period, too many men on the ice, and Hibbing is shorthanded, 4-on-3 power play. Number 2, Sean Fabian, unassisted. And Fabian was a forward last year, has been moved to defense. He's 6 foot, 190 pounds, a power play goal, 4-on-3. Hill Murray takes a 2-1 lead.
But with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the period, the Terrell brothers combined to tie the game up for Hibbing. Steve Terrell took the shot and went off a Hill Murray defenseman right there, and his younger brother, Doug Terrell, was Johnny on the spot to beat Ricky Horvath to tie it. Here's another look at it. Steve Terrell, their big, rangy defenseman, nice wrist shot. It went off the defenseman, and there's Doug Terrell, who the Hibbing people tell me has a chance to be as good as all those Micheletti brothers who came out of Hibbing, and we know they were some good ones.
Bill Olson, head coach of Hibbing, was saying before the game, he really isn't certain, you know, in the state tournament about the switching goaltenders, but he says, we've done it, we're going to stick with it, but I think he's happy he did.
Rich Jacqueline's playing a big league game, as is Ricky Horvath. Both came up with big scintillating saves near the end of that period, so we stand at 2-all. This is continuing coverage of the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament live from the St. Paul Civic Center.
In April 1986, the Minnesota institution will become part of a celebrated American tradition. TCF is going public. TCF depositors will have the first opportunity to buy stocks. Full details will be sent by mail. You have made TCF Minnesota's largest consumer banking institution. It's only right that you should own a part of it. TCF, where Minnesota banks.
How many Chevys we got?
Too many.
How many?
10,000. Gotta have a sale.
We've got to have a sale.
Big sale.
A big sale.
A really big sale.
A really big sale.
You're the boss.
The Twin Cities Chevy dealer's overstock sale. With 10,000 new Chevys on our hands, the only thing on our mind is to make you a deal.
To John Kaiser, who had 6 grand openings in 3 days, Republic Airlines awards the first-class upgrade perk.
He's earned it.
To Gary McKee, who had to laugh at the same joke 6 times, Republic awards the executive suite perk.
You've earned it.
And to Nell McCarran, who had to dress for success in 6 cities, Republic awards a free trip after only 20,000 miles.
I've earned it.
We make you feel like flying. Republic Airlines.
Well, you know, the number 3 must have been a favorite number of the person who invented the game of hockey. There are 3 periods in a hockey game. There are 3 goals to make up a hat trick. The state tournament is played over 3 days. Now the number 3 has a new meaning at Hill Murray High School. Count them. 1, 2, 3. They're the mascots of the Hill Murray Pioneers. They wouldn't miss Hill Murray hockey games for anything in the world. Well, there is one thing, maybe. That is, if the Hill Murray hockey game falls on the same date as one of their hockey games. You see, this trio of identical triplets, 9-year-old Matt, Andy and Nick all skate on the same line on a squirt hockey team in St. Paul. Andy, Matt, and Nick can't wait to get bigger so they can play for Hill Murray. And so that their last name will fit across their jersey. You see, it's Andy, Nick, and Matt Truskolaski. We have a mutual admiration society here. Hill Murray players also cheer for their mascots. In this game, Sean Fabian, Steve Rollick, and Rick Horvath all gave their vocal support as the Truskolaski line scores a goal, and it's time for the high freeze. Hill Murray players, to show team unity, all had their heads shaved off during last year's state tournament. So guess what's next? Yep, the Truskolaski trio can't be running around the St. Paul Civic Center this week with a full head of hair, so it's off with the locks, and we now have 3 more skinheads in the fold.
And I want you to know that these guys are really easy to tell apart. Once you just take a look at them, they're easy to tell apart. This is Matt. This guy right here is Nick. And that one over there is Andy. Was I right, guys? Yeah. You're easy to, you can tell that, can't you? And their dad, Greg, and their mother, Sue, also attended Hill Murray. You guys are going where now to school? Hill, when you grow up, huh? So I guess we can look for another line. How'd you like to do play-by-play with these guys? Truskolaski to Truckoluski. A scoring on that goal, huh? Well, listen, you guys have a good time. We'll see you back in the state tournament here, playing in it in about 6 or 7 years. How's that? Okay? You guys are easy to tell apart. See you later. Go enjoy the rest of the game, okay? Okay, see you guys. There you have it, the Truckoluskis. Hill Murray fans. This is continuing coverage of the 1986 Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.